Hi, everybody. My name is John DePietro.
I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camp Report Show, we're going to talk to people that travel solo, but like to travel in a group. They are called the Wanderers International Network, WIN for short.
So they're solo, but they're in a group and they travel together, but they like to be solo.
You got to listen to the whole show to figure it out. It's coming up
All right.
soon.
I'll hang around and I'll
Okay.
watch it.
Okay.
I've got my interview with Patrice and Kevin McCabe. And how many times have your kids said, "Are we there yet? Are we there?" But they made it into "Are we there yet?" And it's entering its third season on the internet and all kinds of channels. So it's a great interview as they launch season number 3.
Yeah. Plus, we got all the news of the week. Where do we glean that news from, Bob?
RV Business with Rick Kessler, Ben Quiggle with Woodall's Campground Magazine. Couldn't do it without them.
Couldn't do it without him, but we are going to show you what's coming up right soon in a second, right here on where?
The Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everybody. Hey there, RVers. We get it. Your insurance and warranty needs are as unique as your travel destinations. That's why RVer Insurance has teamed up with Wholesale Warranties to cover all the bases. From health insurance to RV coverage and warranties, we've got you sorted every step of the way. With a solid track record in providing top-notch health insurance and affordable RV insurance options, RV Insurance has you covered. And for those unexpected repair bills, look no further than our friends at Wholesale Warranties, leaders in reliable coverage and customer support. Start your RV protection journey today at rverinsurance.com or wholesalewarranties.com/RVerinsurance. Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Kemp Report Show. This is our news segment. My name is John DePietro. That gentleman over there is Bob Zagami. And Bob, in the news this week, a familiar name comes up again. Our friends at Winnebago were just named to the group of most trusted companies in America by Newsweek magazine. You know, you can get best RV, you can get best travel trailer, you can get best boat for a specific year or season. But when you're named most trustworthy company, that goes a little bit further, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And sometimes people might think that we cover Winnebago too much, but we don't. They deserve the coverage.
Yep.
This is a very prestigious award. And what I love about it are the evaluation criteria. They judge it on 3 things: customer trust, employee trust, and investor trust. And in all 3 of those categories, Winnebago does amazingly well with or without the awards. It's just one of those companies, the first motorhome company, production motorhome company in our industry, well over 50 years old. They just keep doing it every year. And this isn't the first award they get. They are always getting them. But it was they listed 700 companies, and they did the evaluation with that. There were over $500 million in sales in 23 industries. $500 million is a lot of revenue, and that means a lot of customers. And to take care of those
Yep.
customers,
Yep.
take care of your investors is a big thing. Mike Happy put it well, Mike, the CEO. Every day, our team shows up to work committed to creating a culture that celebrates integrity, trust, and excellence in all aspects of our business. And we've been there, John. We've been out there. We've
And there,
we've done a lot of shows with them, a lot of work with the executives of the company. A very well-deserved award for sure, and they earned every part of it. Yep.
and we know so many of the people, and Kelly Harms, their PR person, always likes it when we mention her name. So Kelly, there you go.
Do we get a double hit if I mention Kelly Hart's name
Yeah,
too?
exactly. Yeah,
Also,
if you say it properly, Kelly
Kelly
Harms.
Kelly Harms.
There we go.
Kelly with an I,
Right.
Kellii.
Okay.
We're
And
detailed. We're detailed.
exactly. One of our other friends in the industry, a TV show called RV Unplugged, which is kind of like one of those challenge shows, um, has a very interesting concept. They have this program called Watch and Win. And interestingly, Bob, in this RV industry, there's so many shows. out there. There's so many bloggers out there. There's so many influencers out there, et cetera, et cetera. And it used to be that all they judged you was on the number of views that you got, but it didn't mention anything about how loyal your audience was. And our friends Tony and his crew at RV Unplugged have come up with this watch and win thing, which really shows the trust that the viewers have because they enter these contests. And the contest shows that you're interested in the show. Talk about that.
It's a unique way to build brand loyalty. And Tony's done a phenomenal job because he heads up their communication stuff along with Todd Henson. But they've also attracted, this is only the second year, and just launching shows is a challenge. But in just that, with that first year under their belt, which they did up at Camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, Florida.
We've heard of that.
This is where they filmed the second year. I'm sorry, that's where they filmed the second year.
Yeah.
And they have attracted an incredible partnership group of people who are sponsoring the show. You got Moride, Big Beard Battery, that's Todd Henson's battery company, Open Roads, Rich Solar, Liquefied, I think that's Matt Foxcroft's Bathroom Chemicals, Alliance RV, major manufacturer jumping in there saying, hey, we want to be part of this. Blue Compass RV and RV tech courses out of NRVTA. So they get new location, new teams, new sponsors, and I'm going to guess that Tony came up with this idea of watch and win. Going to be very interesting to see how it goes because it's very difficult with all of the social media platforms and all the programs out there that after their incredible success in the first year, jumping in with this kind of a lineup and that kind of a contest.
Did a good job.
I think they're going to do fantastic with it, and people are going to want to watch that program every week to see if they can win something. They got a bunch of prizes in conjunction with their sponsors that they're going to be giving out.
Yeah, well, they call them partners. They don't call them sponsors, but they're really sponsors. Right. But nevertheless, they're doing a good job, and it's a great show, and they're nice people that we know as well. And other nice people that we know are those folks at RVing Today TV, our friend Jose and Michelle and Jeff, et cetera. They just signed a new sponsor called Century Chemical, which a lot of people think is a brand new company, but anything but.
Well, this one even surprised me. So I've been covering the industry for 28 years. This company is 100 years old. I never knew about this company, and I'm sure they never knew about Bob Zagami either. But
still probably don't.
With very little advertising, apparently, that they've done, they got a series of products with sanitation and sewage systems and chemicals. And now they're going nationally. They got a major sponsorship in RVing Today. And obviously they feel that the audience that Jose Moniz brings to the marketplace with his lifestyle show, this is the 14th year of RVing Today on the market. So getting a company like that to sponsor it is not vindication, but validation of the audience that Jose has built over 14 years. And they feel this is a very good place to start telling people who they are and why they should be buying their products.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what? When we look at our three major news stories, which we got from RV Business and Woodall's Campground Magazine, trust is really the key word. Trust with the Winnebago, with the trustworthy category that they won that award for. Trust with RV Unplugged because people trust their sponsors and partners. And you know what? RVing Today TV, 14 years, there's trust with the industry as well. So it's always nice to see nice people do well. And we want you all to stay with us. Go ahead.
Wait a minute. One last thing. That is also a woman-owned company.
Yep. The chemical company.
Chemical company. Yep. We should give them credit for that also. Yep.
Exactly. Okay. We are moving on to our segments, and we want to thank you for joining us for the news segment. Stay with us right here. Where, Bob?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everybody. Attention all RVers. Say goodbye to roof worries and hello to worry-free travel with RV Roof Magic. This revolutionary liquid butyl roof coating is specially formulated to protect your RV from the elements, to extend its lifespan and prevent leaks. With simple application and outstanding results, RV Roof Magic is the go-to choice for RV owners seeking superior roof protection. Don't let roof maintenance issues hold you back. RV Roof Magic is the only liquid butyl rubber in the world that offers a one-coat, no primer coverage and a 10-year warranty. Visit rvroofmagic.com/RVLife and extend your roof another 18 to 20 years.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Camper Report Show, and I'm with our friends Patrice and Kevin McCabe, and they are the producers, the stars, the handyman, handywoman of RV There Yet. And RV There Yet is going to hit the airways for season 3 real soon, right, Patrice?
Saturday, April 6th. We cannot wait. Yes.
It's going to be an exciting time. What goes behind the scenes to get ready for that first week and getting your fans back in the groove?
I think really for us is scheduling all of our social media, because we're still actively editing and actively shooting the series, the end of the series. We've had to go and schedule all of our social media posts, whether it be our stories and our reels that Patrice does on Facebook, to some ads that we do on Facebook that we let the promo go. So, that's already been up and it's going to go live. So really for me, it's been getting the schedule of social advertising ready to create that hype as we approach the debut of the first episode this Saturday.
Well,
And press releases, letting all of our product partners and all of our destination partners know when their episode's going to air. It's a lot of coordination and choreography. So things got to land on a certain day. We're doing a local watch party here in Tampa Bay in our hometown on Friday. And then Saturday, we just get to wake up, grab a cup of coffee and sit on the couch and watch it too.
And it goes live Saturday at 8:30 a.m.
on Discovery. Yep.
On Discovery. And it's Eastern time or Pacific time. So they air it at 8:30 out on the West Coast also.
Yes, they do. They do. It's 8 o'clock Pacific and 8 o'clock. I'm sorry, 8:30 Pacific and 8:30 Eastern time. So it's a split airing, they call it, so that both coasts don't have to shift. It's on at 8:30, but now in the middle in Arizona, it gets a little wonky. In Nebraska, I think it's
Mountain Time.
Time.
Yeah, they're still watching it like at 6:30.
Yeah. Well, one of the things that I love about the show, and this is season 3, is, am I correct in calling it more of a travel log? There's other RV shows out there, but they show you how to change how to dewinterize and how to check your tire pressure and maybe a couple of little episodes off the mechanical or the daily stuff. But yours it's the type of show that somebody should, I would think, start the DVR at the beginning of the season and tape every show, because it's the type of thing that you don't want to miss it, and then you can watch them at your own time. And I know you get them on the site, but tell people the different ways they can watch the show.
So we go on Discovery Channel on cable TV Saturday morning 8:30. Then 24 hours later, we go live on all the socials, and that's Roku. We have a Roku channel. We've got a YouTube channel, and I think Discovery Plus is now carrying it. That's a big social streaming channel that we were not on there last year, and they've included into our package this year. So I think it might be on Discovery Go too. I'm not sure
Discovery
the relationship.
Go, though the live streaming, so it's the same time, but Discovery Plus they can access it.
And there's plenty of other like Sling TV. Anybody that carries Discovery Network, you can watch it too. So it's not just cable TV, it's also all of the streaming channels that are what are called linear channels that carry Discovery as it broadcasts. So not only Discovery Channel cable, but there's, I think, Sling and Philo and Fubo. I mean, there's all kinds of them. Bob, I get confused. I watch it on cable TV myself.
Well, and there are so many programs that are streaming now That's what people are looking for, and that's obviously the trend of the future. Watch it at your leisure when you want to do it, and I can see sitting down on a Saturday morning and maybe watching 3 or 4 of them, and using the program. Do you have comments from your fans that they actually use the program and the sites that you show them to plan their vacations?
Absolutely, absolutely. It is a travel show. We call it a travel series. We happen to be RVers and we do show the RV lifestyle. It's a way that you can see this beautiful country. Your description earlier is we are not going to slow down our 30 minutes just to show you how to check your tire pressure or things like that. Those are things that you can go on our social media channels or our website for. But for the most part, it's celebrating and motivating people to get out and see this country in an RV is how we love to do it.
Right.
And it's
I was gonna say,
I
Bob,
think-
I can tell you exactly what you're asking is, are people doing it?
Yeah.
Let me give you an
Yeah.
example. So Patrice's mom wants to go to Amicalola Falls State Park, which is a show we did last season, first episode, the mountains of Georgia, beautiful state park there. So we called to book her a place. The place is booked. It's booked for
till
6 months.
July, till July.
So again, the show that we're doing, when we call back or we find out from Kentucky State Parks or some Nebraska State Parks,
Yeah.
the parks are full. People
And-
are going to do what we did.
And we get so much feedback about, the trips and where we went. And I didn't know that was there. Kevin created our trip maps on our website. So you can actually go and see each episode has a map of exactly where we were, and you can go do it yourself. It's links to all these places, book to stay, book to, ride your horse, make a reservation. It's all the things that we've done because everybody's like, I didn't know that was there.
Yeah,
That's the biggest compliment we can
It's basically driving directions to everywhere we
Yeah.
went. So you don't have to go look it up. You just go click on the map, click on the location, and it'll actually give you driving directions from your location to wherever it was we were.
So when do you come up for air? Because you produce it, you do all the editing, you're the on-screen stars, you got your social media, you got your trip, the website, and all the other stuff. When do you live your life outside of the RV?
question.
It's a good question. We find those little moments, but for the most part, this is what we love to do. We have been TV people for 24 years. Kevin, about 10 years longer than me. But we love RVing. When he came up with this idea, unbeknownst to me, and threw it out to Discovery, I said there were a few caveats. Number one, I wanted Winnebago because we're Winnebago. We've always been since 2004. And number two, it had to be authentic to the way that we travel. We're having a blast on the road doing this show. Our crew is having a blast. We like them. We like traveling with them. So we do a lot of work, but it's not work if you love, what you're doing.
Bob, the short answer is wintertime. That's when we get to, we're in Florida, so it's
Yeah.
not truly winter. Matter of fact, this has been the mildest winter we've ever had.
Yeah.
So from, December, and again, we like to spend it with our families. So November, December, January, February, we try to spend it with our families here because we know spring, summer, fall is really our go-to time to travel.
Well, again, the audience is, they're living their dreams through you and seeing what you can do. And for the RV industry, it's probably the best way to show people how to actually have fun with your RV. You can look at product brochures, you can go look at consumer shows and buying another RV, but to put it into reality and make it work, and then have you on the screen smiling and enjoying and, joking around with the crew and the people and the sights that you see. I see this thing running for, you had your fishing show for 25 years. You might be doing RVs for 25 years.
I'm not mad at that.
I'm not mad at that. Again, Bob, it's to inspire people. I think that television, we say it, the production the music. You know, we talk about episode 2, which is not this Saturday, it's next Saturday. We go to Montana, and it's this very dinosaur, you know, type of area of Montana, the Badlands. And so when you watch that second episode, I mean, you really feel it. You really feel like you're in a land that, you know, the dinosaurs once lived. And that's what I love about what I do. And everybody says the editing is the worst part. That's my favorite part. I've been editing for over 30 years. And that's when you take your puzzle and it all comes together into this masterpiece. And Patrice and I do it all the time. The hair on our arms will stand up, a tear will come to our eye, because what we're doing is going to inspire people to travel and see this beautiful country.
Well, you know, and I wouldn't call it the most tedious, and I don't do it to the level that you do it, but I think it is the most rewarding because you see the finished product. You know, people, a lot of times, let's face it, they don't realize what goes into the show, the amount of time that you put on site in the crew versus what they see on the TV screen. And, you know, advertising people used to say for years you'd film 3 hours to get 30 seconds, but you know, but putting it together, that's a real skill set that most of us don't have. So I'm very happy to have you do it, Kevin. I don't mind at all.
Patrice is now a good editor too, though. I have brought her into, she is a great storyteller, and the history part, I'm not a big history buff, so I learned so much from her, from the history part of what we do. So for me, it's been a learning experience and a lot of fun.
He
Yeah.
gets to eat a lot of weird things he's never eaten before. We ate flowers this week in Tampa. It's crazy.
Well, but you haven't hit one of those insect restaurants or insect.
No, I don't know.
They're out there.
No,
They're out
this
there.
is just a farm here in Tampa, but it just so happens that flowers and edible flowers are what they specialize in. And yeah, I've eaten some wild things, but never flowers on camera.
They were good.
So as you got two seasons done. We're coming up on season 3. As you've done this, are there places that you just want to go to that you haven't got to yet? What are some of your real destinations that you're going to get in, whether it's this year or next year? Because you see the whole country, you can go anywhere in the country. What are your loves that you just haven't accomplished yet?
I know what yours is. Mine is New Mexico. We've been there personally with some of our really good friends, and we've hiked. New Mexico is so weirdly wonderful, is how I describe it. The topography, from the desert to the mountains to just, I mean, some of the best state parks out there, the food, the people, the colors. So for me, it's New Mexico. So if New Mexico's listening, and I know what yours is.
You know, mine is
Utah.
Well, mine's Utah, California, but really it's any place I haven't been, Bob.
True.
I'm one of these people that I want to go to Idaho and Wyoming and all these places that I've never been to show people here in Florida. Again, I grew up in Cocoa Beach, Florida. It's one street, A1A. There's not a lot there. It's a very small barrier island. So I have a lot of people from home that don't get out of this state. And I want to show people what goes on in other parts of this country.
Well, and you do it very well, because you're right. I mean, probably 70-80% of this country thinks we only have an East Coast and a West Coast, and they've never seen anything in between. They haven't seen the beauty of the country. They haven't seen the history of the country. I find it amazing. All right, our guest today are Patrice and Kevin McCabe, founders, producers, on-screen personality, cooks. Forgot cooks before, of RV There Yet, and the tagline is Road Trip to Explore America. All right, fantastic having you on again, and let's go over that this Saturday. What's happening this Saturday, and why it's important to get people right in there on season 3, episode 1.
All right, so 8:30 in the morning on the West Coast and East Coast, 8:30 on Discovery Channel. Tune in. We've got Sevierville, Tennessee, first episode. So we've got get to meet Danielle Parton, a new moonshiner. I guess that's Dolly's niece.
Dolly's
This
niece.
is
We go up to.
this is the moonshine lady, right?
Yeah,
She's
that's
a
the
All
moonshine.
right.
moonshiner.
Yeah, I could talk about this little device here, but I'll spare you. But this is going to be part of our live broadcast tomorrow. But I'll let your viewers tune in tomorrow night if they want to see what this is all about. But yeah, so it's tomorrow, Saturday, Discovery Channel, 8:30 in the morning for Sevierville, Tennessee. We do Clingman's Dome, we do moonshine, and we do zip line, and we go see the history of Sevierville, Tennessee. It's a great place.
And we're camping over Halloween. We're in the Ridge Outdoor
Outdoor Resort.
Resort in Sevierville. First time we've ever been to like a resort. It blew our minds. It's an authentic reaction on the opening scene when we arrive at the Ridge. It's incredible. This place was great, but it was over Halloween, so we dress up and we have some trick-or-treaters. The whole entire resort was filled with trick-or-treaters. It was beautiful. So
every Saturday from here on out for the next 13 weeks, Bob, Saturday at 8:30 on Discovery Channel and online. Watch it, and I know you'll enjoy it.
That's fantastic. Thanks very much for joining us again. I'm looking forward to it, and I'll be watching.
thank you for having us, Bob. It's always a pleasure.
Take care, Bob.
Thank you. Bye now.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to the Camper Report Show. My name is John DePietro. And you know, one of the coolest parts about being an RVer and doing the Camper Report Show is you get to meet people from, number one, all over the great United States, all over the world, in that fact, and people with a wide variety of occupations and stuff and things that they're doing. And our guest today is certainly an example of a person who has had a interesting career and is now immersed in another career, and she's basically homeless. That's the most amazing part about what she does. And help me welcome Janelle Jones to Camp Report Show. Janelle, welcome.
Thank you, John. Thank you so much. And yes, I am homeless. I am homeless, love it, and have been homeless for about 4.5 years and hope to be homeless for about another 5 years.
Another 5 years. Okay. So you are the CEO and owner. I've given you 2 titles, by the way. CEO.
Thank you.
You might have another one, chairman.
Bottle washer. Yeah.
Whatever.
Chief bottle washer.
When I was at a Winnebago event a couple weeks ago down in Florida, I interviewed a very interesting gentleman who said he's going to Alaska coming up. And I said, "You going on your own, John?" And he said, "No, I'm going with a wind group." I said, "Wind group? What are you talking about? Wind? Is it one of those people that watches the wind blow and all that?" He said, "No, it's the Wandering Individuals Network." And I did some research, and it all led to you. Tell us about the Wandering Individuals Network.
This is a 36-year-old club that was founded in 1988 by 7 people, single people that traveled solo, sitting around a campfire, wanting their own little group to travel with. Back then, it wasn't as common as it is now to get an RV and sit off in the wild blue yonder and get rid of everything. And so they wanted to have their own little community. And so they founded Wandering Individuals Network. And so all these years later, it's grown into this business that it is now. And basically what it is an RV club that you join, and you have access to exclusive itineraries. We travel all over the United States, Canada, and parts of Mexico. And just as importantly, it provides community. It provides a like-minded community. You get around people who don't think you're crazy for chucking it all and driving a 36-foot RV across the country.
Your family will still think you're crazy.
Oh, yeah. Until you come back a year later, or they see all your travels on Facebook and be like, "Oh, I wish I could do that." And you're like, "Well, you can.
You can.
Yeah, you can.
You can. Yep. So you just took over the club a year or so ago, and you have really brought it into the current technological generation, if you will, with blogs and with Facebook pages and that type of thing. Really, people are not necessarily brick and mortar people anymore. They're not pen and paper people anymore. They want communication electronically. They want to be able to read what they want when they want. And you've really done a masterful job with that.
Well, thank you, John. You're right. Everything you said is right. And so you have to meet people where they are. And people are on social media these days. And I've done lots of research because my membership age tends to be older and a little bit more women than men, 59% women. So it's like, how can I reach them? And Facebook, that age group is on Facebook. The next, the 45 to 55 is on Instagram. So I have an Instagram account, but I push real hard on that Facebook because that's where they are, and I want to meet them where they are.
Mhm. You know what? When we do interviews like this, and I think you're about 175th show that we're doing, one of the questions that we always get when we see the notes down below is, give us the background of the people that you're talking about. So you are retired. You said you
I am.
retired at 54.
I did.
Give us your background. What did you do for work? Tell us about that type
I
of-
was a cop. I was a cop for 26 years in South Florida. Started out on midnight row patrol, where everybody starts out. I worked in a challenged neighborhood. We call them a high call for service area.
High
And
call for
started out
service.
high call for service, yes. And worked my way all the way up till I ended up the number 2 under the sheriff. And, then the sheriff's an elected official. I was the highest ranking female in 4 counties, set all kind of awards and records and legacies and all that, which I'm very proud of. And because when they hired me, they hadn't hired a woman in a long time. And I was one of three women in a department that had 500-ish employees. So I had a real strong sense of responsibility of making sure what I was doing going forward was going to help those behind me, coming up behind me. So I had a heck of a career, heck of a good time, good life. But after 26 years, I could have went at 25, but I wanted to make sure. So I hung on that one last year and have never looked back and hit the road about a year later.
Were you ever on Cops?
Oh, yeah. 7 episodes.
7 episodes.
Oh, yeah. Basically, at one point in my career there, I was a public information officer,
Yep.
which is the face of the department.
Yep.
They go on TV, and they're the only ones allowed to give the opinion of the
Yep.
sheriff's office and the
Yep.
sheriff. So I was on the department was on, I mean, every show you can imagine except Oprah and 60 Minutes. Now, Oprah's people called me once. We didn't get on. And thank God we never heard from 60 Minutes, because the only time 60 Minutes talks to cops is, civil rights violations. And we don't want no part of that right there.
So if you were a PIO in the law enforcement industry, you must have used the word on several occasions. We ascertained. Right?
That's the big secrets.
Right? Cops never find anything out. We ascertained that the perpetrator was whatever, because I have a lot of friends in that industry. The other thing, after spending 5 weeks in Florida, Florida is law enforcement is not necessarily town by town, but it's counties.
Yeah.
So you cover lots of territories and see a lot of interesting things, especially in areas that are either real small or real big. It sounds like you came out of the big territory.
We're considered a mid-sized agency. Listen, the stories I could tell you is a whole nother show. Honestly, it's a whole nother show. And then again, being the woman, the group of all the SWAT guys and the girl standing there, So it was a heck of a career. I enjoyed it immensely. Got to have so many great experiences. Just, I'm a small town girl from Weatherford, Texas. I grew up in a trailer with 5 brothers and sisters. Odds are none of us would amount to anything. So to get to have those experiences is incredible.
But you must have loved the trailer because you went back to it.
Isn't that funny?
You're in one right now, made in Alabama, in Red Bay, Alabama.
That's John. The irony is not lost on me.
Okay. So, I think the guy's name was John Stimpson. He's a retired dentist, and he said he was going to Alaska. You don't really do tours in caravans. You kind of do. It's kind of like a hybrid form of companion, you know what I mean? Group.
Yeah.
Group, right?
Community.
Yeah, that's it. There's a word.
Yeah. The phrase now is community. No, we don't, John. What it is it's exclusive itineraries. Just think of like if you're going on a 2-month-long trip, a vacation or something.
Yeah.
So I create, like right now it's called Waltz Across Texas. We started in West Texas and going to go all the way up to Pella, Iowa to a tulip festival. So I create where the group can go, where we can stop and see things. Right now, we're in Fredericksburg, enjoying the restaurants and shopping and seeing and whatever. Last week, we were in Big Bend National Park. So it's a little bit of everything. And when you join the club, you join us wherever you want. We don't caravan. If you've done Fredericksburg 100 times, skip this stop and go to the next one, or stay with us. I'm going to stay with us all the way to Oregon, because after Pella, Iowa, we're going to go west and hit the Badlands and then spend the summer in Washington and Oregon and then making our way down the California coast. So you pick up, drop in, stay, however you want. That's what I like about this club. And I think it's a big selling point.
Okay. On a normal, what do you call it? You had a term, circuit. Are there rig limits? How many people are generally with you on an average?
Well, I say no off the top of my head, but sometimes there is, and it'll be in the notes. This is a small camping area, only 10 RVs or whatever. But like I knew this circuit would be big, and I don't know why we call it circuit. Side notes, they just always have, and I didn't change it. But I knew this Texas circuit would be big, so I made sure, like right now we're parked at a fairgrounds and there's 300 spots. So I made sure that, there's enough space. We do Florida every year, and about 10 people do that Florida winter, which is good because the spaces we have in Florida to park are generally smaller. So over the years, and I wish I'd known all this, but the club knows it. So over the years, we kind of know who will go to what and know to accordingly plan for where we stop.
Now, with your background in law enforcement, you know that traveling together is a hell of a lot safer than traveling on your own. Number one, for breakdowns, there's always somebody nearby, okay? And I'm sure you'd agree that the RVing community is a very sharing community, that if one person is just, their rig isn't working right, or they're not feeling right, somebody else will drive your rig for you, or at least help you fix it. We experienced that in a trip not too long ago. But what are some of the other benefits of joining your organization?
If I can do a hair step backwards for what you just said about the safety, it's so true. And so for women, especially starting out RVing, if you don't join my RV club, that's fine. Join another one. The learning curve will be shortened. We have kind of
it's a steep curve.
It's a steep curve, buddy. You think it's just people are afraid of the driving part of it? Shoot, that's nothing. It's very doable, but it's just a new skill to learn. That's all it is. We have a kind of unwritten rule here with our club that if you're ever like in your RV and you faint, pass out, have a heart attack, whatever, you hit the alarm on your car so that in the middle of the night, if you're having troubles, we know to get up and why is that car alarm going off? And we know that we need to get inside your RV. So there is safety. There is that safety in number, but some of the benefits they're just very simple. The community. I mean, that is just, to me, the friends that you will make, lifelong friends. When you get to be a certain age, our age, John, where do you meet friends? Especially in this life. As you travel along, people are kind. The people next to you in an RV or a campground or national park are kind, but then you leave and they leave. And so as a solo, I mean, I'm used to being on my own, but it's nice to have somebody to go out to eat with. And Easter's coming up, and have Easter dinner and go to a museum or a bike ride with. So that is really the number one that I say. And then secondly, again, as you get older, I'm 60 years old. So I've got 10 good hard years ahead of me where I can still run and go if my health is good. So what am I going to sit at my house, watching TV and looking out the window and gardening, which is all fine. But for me, I wanted to go out with a bang those last 10 years. I wanted to really make something and see something while I could. And then when you're around people, you tend to be more active. I mean, yesterday we went on a bike ride. I would not have gotten up to go on a bike ride to
electric.
Yes. Electric. Yeah. Okay. Well, you know what? That's so what? It's still a bike ride.
You know what? Because I've had one for a few years, and
Mhm.
people say, "Oh, it's not really a bike ride." Well, the hardest part is getting the bike off the rack,
Yeah, okay, there's that.
right? To
That's
get ready to
it's a
roll.
weight bearing exercise.
I will admit to using the right column bar
Mhm.
where
Mhm.
that's got the gear shift, not the gear
Yeah.
shift, but the speed control on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you
It's
know
still
what?
a bike ride,
It is a
and
bike
you're
ride.
and you're still outside, and you're still being active, and you're still moving around, and you're still with other people. There's many studies that show that as Americans get older, the loneliness becomes crippling, sitting in your house, and you get less and less friends as they die off. Not with us. I mean, we have friends. This lifestyle keeps you active. You need to learn maps and drive to the next place. I mean, I'm looking at an RV right now, the lady that's 81 years old and can outdrive you and me both. And she's in a 40-foot RV and drives it all over the place. I mean, and she's been doing it for years also.
Yep.
So, and most of us are, I'm one of the younger ones. Most of us, if I had to say, are mid 60s to mid 70s.
Yep.
I mean, you think about that. That's the group that sits home, not this group. We don't sit home
No, because you're homeless.
because we're homeless.
You know, the reality is this. I'm getting the wrap-up signal from our producers here because we're going way too long for our normal segment. I'm going to ask you to come back at another time to tell us more. But before we go any further, how can people find out more, and how can they join, and what does it cost?
It's $120 a year, which is nothing. That's $10 a month. It's
Peanuts.
nothing. It's nothing. But the point is to have you join the club. It's not for me to get rich, it's to have you join the club. We're all on all social media, Wandering Individuals Network. Go on our Facebook, go on our website. I also have a free seminar coming up, John, that I wanted to tell you about. It's a free webinar on if you want to get started in the RV life, but don't really know how to get started or want to. I have one
when and where, or when and
April 13th, noon Eastern Standard Time, and send an email to free RV webinar. And I'll send you some information for your show notes. It's free
RV webinar
at gmail.com. And I'll get you registered completely free.
Cool. Will you come back at some time?
Oh, I'd love to. Yes. Thank you.
Cool. It sounds like you guys have it together. I know the gentleman that I interviewed, and we'll run these in consecutive weeks, was really looking forward to it. And that's Alaska. That's coming up this year, right?
May 29th. Yeah.
Yep. Great. Perfect. Our guest has been Janelle Jones. She is the chief cook and bottle washer. There's a new title for you, for an organization called Wandering Individuals Network. Check them out. They're all over social media, all over the place. And I'm sure that you will find them to be of interest. And we want to let you know that you are watching the Camper Report Show.